Hi, okay, so today I want to do a video talking about pain and addressing pain and why you still have pain and why it takes so long to heal pain and illness and suffering and symptoms, why you still have these symptoms that come and rush in and just ruin your life, rivet your attention to them and make you unable to enjoy everything else going around, around you, like family and friends and events and things going on. And why often does that pain get worse, or those symptoms get worse after stressful events, or after a period of stress, or after something, or when you're having a down day, or a day where you actually should, in theory, feel better. Why do you feel worse? Well, if I knew the answer to this, maybe I'd be completely healed. But I will say what I know. And this happens to me a lot. I will go through periods of symptom-free and pain-free periods. And then I'll have stressful periods where I'm organizing a lot of things, or planning a lot of things, or trying to get through an event, or Christmas, or someone's birthday, or this or that. And then it's over and I have a day to rest, recuperate, recover on the couch, just do a few easy cleanup tasks around the house, or really do not much of anything, and the pain flares. And you're thinking, why would it flare today when I just made it through all the stress and I was actually pretty good? I felt okay, I felt good. And now today, when I have the chance to relax, I feel all I can do is think about the pain. All I can do is focus on it. All I can do is feel that hopelessness and despair and sadness and fear of the future, and playing the what if thinking over and over and over. What if I never get better? What if this never goes away? How long am I gonna have to suffer? This victim mentality of somebody just save me, someone help me, look at me, feel sorry for me, help me, take care of me, understand what I've been going through, acknowledge me, whatever it is, right? So why do you have these feelings after? Why, I guess my question is, why do you not get them in periods where you think maybe you should have them more, and you do get symptoms in periods where it would seem that you would be able to experience less symptoms, less pain, there's less going on, there's less environmental change, there's less, stress going on, and yet the symptoms are riveting. So why is that? Well, often when we're in the midst of a stressful situation, or a big long stretch of events, holiday planning, things to get through, vacations, birthdays, Christmas, stressful periods of projects or deadlines or whatever it is, often people with chronic illness or chronic pain or chronic symptoms do what we do best, and we cope very, very well. We stay focused at the task at hand. We have our perfectionistic nature where we're trying to get everything perfect. We really have a lot to focus on. So we can focus on tasks, getting this right, checking this off our list, checking this off our list, checking this off our list. And our mind is occupied with to-do lists. Our mind is occupied on getting details right and things in order and meeting deadlines and checking things off and going through all the details. And so we have a lot going on, a lot of stress, but our mental chatter quiets down, because our mental chatter is now about the lists and about the getting it right and about the events and about the deadlines or the projects or whatever we have going on. And so it's focused on something that isn't pain. And even though that can be stressful, and even though that can bring out a lot of emotions or a lot of stress, if our monkey mind is wrapped up in the to-do list and the details of getting everything right and going through the days and then we suddenly check everything off our list, it's over, we have a down day over on this side, and we don't have the to-do list. We don't have all the tasks in front of us. We don't have to do this, check it off, go over the details, get them perfect in our mind. What we do start to have, again, we still have that monkey mind, but now it starts to think, oh, did I just feel a twinge? Oh no, here it comes. Oh, and then it starts to do the monkey mind, but instead of doing it on something besides the pain and the symptoms and the illness, now our monkey mind goes wild because we don't have anything else to fill our mind space with. So it goes wild on the symptoms themselves. It rivets to the pain. It thinks about it over and over, and what went wrong, and what am I doing wrong, and what did I eat, and it tries to solve this puzzle and check the list and do whatever it's doing and unravel it. And it starts to think about the pain. It starts to think about the emotions that the pain causes, like the helplessness and the hopelessness and the fear and the just like desperation and the exhaustion and all the why me. And it starts to go through old stories, and it starts to go through everything because the mind is so busy. And this is our personality trait, because the mind is so busy and it likes to solve, it likes to do, it likes to get things perfect. When we give it a serious amount of other tasks to focus on and do and get perfect, it's busy doing something else. And even if that's super stressful, it's busy doing that. You know, getting through the vacation, doing this and this, doing something different, getting through the Christmas, doing this and this, getting through the project or the deadline, doing this and this and this. And when we don't have that, our mind goes boom, symptoms, old story, emotions, all the other things come up, and our mind just goes round and round on all of it, making us try to solve a problem that isn't even there. It's not what is the food, how did this happen, what's in the environment, did I just smell or taste something toxic, is it EMFs, is it this, is it that, is it the other, why do I feel like this, oh my god, how long is it going to be? And then we start playing mental movies about the movie of your life that is filled with this pain that will never end, and how's it going to be in 5 years, how's it going to be in 10 years, what's going to happen to me when I'm 80 years old, right? It goes on and on and on, and our mind is happy to try to solve these problems. It needs a break. We need a break, and we can't keep this up forever. We can't keep on go mode, and we can't keep ourselves so busy all the time and distracted with all these things, because we physically and mentally need a break, and it's too much, and it can be stressful and overwhelming. But on this side of it, we have nothing in front of us, and we marinate in our misery, in our pain, in our symptoms, in our fears, in our stories, in our future projections, and we marinate in this toxic soup, and then we wonder why we feel toxic. Okay? When we're busy doing things and living life and accomplishing and even, taking risks and doing other things, even though it is more stressful, it's taking more energy, it's harder on us. We're not sitting in the marination, we're sitting in the marination of something different, something that's less threatening, getting through a to-do list and making sure that a party goes perfect, or making sure that a project completes, or making sure that, we get this and this and this and this and this to do before the time pressure of this happening. Sitting in that marinade is a lot easier because it's less personal. It's not personal. It's not like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I do this? Why can't I heal myself? It's less desperate. It's less filled with old stories. It's less filled with emotions of sadness and pain and suffering and guilt and blame and shame and fear and anger and sadness and grief. It's not filled with that. So it's impersonal. While it is super stressful and super busy and can be hard and overwhelming, and you can't keep that up long term, keeping this up long term seems harder, because although you're sitting, you're breathing, you're getting that rest that you need, you're having your tea, or you're meditating, or you're just simply doing the dishes, you have a lot of time to think, to marinate, to feel, to what if, to play out the fears and the bad feelings and the emotions that you are feeling in your mind over and over and over and over. And that's where the pain and the suffering starts to loop. It's just building that loop and trying to solve something, trying to protect you. And when, like I say, when we get distracted by a busy period of our life, we can almost not have any of the symptoms. And as soon as the busy period is over, all the symptoms can come to the forefront. And it's not that the symptoms themselves were ever gone or here. It's our attention towards them. Over here, we were not riveted to them. Over here, we are riveted to them like they mean everything, like they're important, and we're telling our brain, this is important, focus on this. You need to solve this problem, you need to feel this, you need to, sit in this awful marination of feelings, thoughts, emotions, frustrations, angers. And so what is the answer? Well, the answer is to keep ourselves busy enough, distracted enough, that we don't have time to sit in marination. But as we go through these days, feel the feelings that come up, feel the emotions that come up, feel the tension, feel the stress, feel the emotions that come up, and allow ourselves to notice it, allow ourselves to feel the feelings. Don't turn them off. Because if we turn them off, as soon as we have the moment is when they come out. Look at me now. Look at me now. So if we're going through this and we're kind of riveting our attention on something else, and maybe we just create a new daily routine for ourselves that takes the focus off our symptoms and off our pain and off our suffering, but we allow ourselves, as feelings arise and as things come up during the day, we deal with them there. We go right. We think about it. We whatever, but we keep moving. So it's that balance, it's that blend of coming together. It's like, I know you're here and I know I need to face you and feel you, but I'm going to stay just busy enough and acknowledge you in pieces throughout the day that I can do both at once. I can live and feel you without sitting in the marination and suffering so intensely that it feels like you will never heal and you are in so much pain you want to take your own life, to being so busy that it's just overwhelming, you can't keep up the pace. So we need to blend those two somehow into a way that you can allow yourself to feel things as you're busy, as you're living life, and not to push them off until you finally sit down or until you finally have a down day, and then let them just all come rushing up, right? It's like the pressure cooker analogy that I use all the time. I love the Instant Pot. I have the Instant Pot. I cook with it almost every day. And when you put that valve on and the pressure builds up and and you want to eat, you unrelease the valve and everything steams out. What we want to do is we want to cook with the valve open. So we want to release it, close it, release it, close it, so that when the meal's done, we don't have that big, it just comes to pressure and everything's okay. So we just don't want to, when we're doing this, that's great, but we don't want to ignore our feelings and our emotions and our pain and our suffering to the exclusion of getting everything done and totally looking away from it. But we don't want to totally turn and face it to the exclusion of living our life and sitting in a marinade that is not healthy. So we need to do both. We need to live our life and feel the feelings, experience them, allow ourselves to not put all our attention on it like it's the end of the world, but okay, I acknowledge you, it's part of this day, it's part of this life, but it's not so overwhelming. So I hope this was helpful. It's there's not really an answer that I have yet, except the integration, which is important. And I'll probably do some more videos on ways that you can integrate that these two sides that are keeping us stuck and sick and trying to live in the middle of balance and peace and being able to feel and acknowledge our feelings and also continue to live our life and not have to be in one mode or the other. So yeah, we'll continue to talk about that. I think it's super important, and I think it holds some of the key to healing and reclaiming your life and getting better.